Okay, excellent. Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to Jordan. We have got an international audience on many platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, other mediums, and of course, Zoom. As we gather here today, the world feels the winds of change across the region. From the strength and support in Palestine by the world, to Jordan's proud recognition at the World Expo in Japan, receiving 2 gold medals. Moments like this remind us of the power of resilience and human connection. Together, we look ahead to a future where tourism is not only about travel, but about education, understanding, and lasting peace. It's a true honor to gather with such passionate leaders, innovators, consultants, visionaries, all united today under the theme Innovation, Excellence, and Global Impact. Today, we celebrate Jordan, not only as a destination, but as a living story of creativity, resilience, and once again, collaboration. Our country continues to inspire the world with the ability to turn ideas into impact. From our food, our heritage, our culture, our amazing weather, our beautiful landmarks, and of course, the warmth and excellence of our hospitality. Jordan's true strength lies in its people, the storytellers, the artisans, the guides, the entrepreneurs, and educators who share our culture, pride, and passion. Over the next hour, we will hear from a remarkable group of individuals shaping policies, elevating service standards, leading sustainability, and reimagining our destination for the future. Welcome to the conversation, and thank you for being part of Jordan's journey towards innovation, collaboration, and global impact. We'll start today with a note from Dr. Taleb Rifai, the former secretary of the UNWTO. It's an honor. Dr. Taleb Rifai is a board member of the Institute Tourism, and he's here today to give an opening remark and say hello. Dr. Taleb, please unmute. Dr. Taleb, unmute.
Hello. Hi. Is it okay? Okay now?
Yes, you're perfect. Dr. Taleb is soft-spoken, so.
Okay. I want to welcome everybody here in this room, particularly Mona Nazzal and her husband Michel Nazzal and Reza and everybody else. Please accept my very good wishes for a fruitful future and for a peaceful world, as Mona said. Jordan is very special in its determination to come across as the country for innovation and for technology and for everybody else.
Thank you, Dr. Taleb. Thank you for these beautiful words. And we always look forward to having you with us on these panels.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr.
Taleb. Country. That's it.
All right.
These people are very good people. Thank you.
Okay, so we will start off with Jordan at a macro tourism level. We will start with the Jordanian Senator, His Excellency Michel Nazzal. Please, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Dr. Taleb, for your welcoming remarks, and thank you for the Institute for giving Jordan the floor today, because it is very important with our thousands of archaeological sites to be exposed to tourism. Tourism is Jordan's peace dividend. I mean, it is meant to be our peace dividend since we signed the peace accords in 1994. Ever since, we have tried to flourish with our tourism, and it is meant to really enhance our economic diplomacy. It creates jobs, it's driving investment and building bridges of global goodwill as vital as any trade agreement. Yet, to sustain growth, our legislative framework must evolve. We're competing in a global marketplace for investment, and outdated bureaucracy is our biggest obstacle. We still live with policies and regulations since the past decade, from the 80s and 90s, with some amendments. We need modern, agile policies, ones that attract investors, not discourage them. Dr. Faris is doing a great job in Petra, trying to change attitudes, trying to change mentalities, and trying to create new things. The government's role is to build the stage, to ensure infrastructure, safety, and streamlined regulations. And I can also vouch for the government that they are trying. But as we said earlier, legislative framework has to evolve. The private sector's role is to deliver the performance, to bring creativity and efficiency and world-class standards that really gives our guests an experience that will be remembered after the trip. Resilience today means more than recovery. It means readiness. We must institutionalize coordination among ministries, the private sector, and local communities so that the crisis, whether pandemics or regional turbulences, are challenges we manage, not catastrophes we endure. Young tourists today are only looking for experiences. Our vision must align policy with purpose, from seamless e-visas and smart tourism platforms to investment in green projects and heritage preservation. Every decision should bring us closer to a modern, competitive, and sustainable tourism economy. We must stop merely managing tourism and start strategically leading it. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Michel Nazal. We will also take questions at the end. I'd like to now welcome Dr. Faris Brzat, the Managing Director of the Petra Development and Tourism Authority. Please, Dr. Faris. Dr. Faris, your mic. Technical difficulties.
Dr. Faris, you are muted.
Dr. Faris, he's got a lot of good things to say, so please be patient.
Maybe we can go to the next speaker while that he's
Sure, we can have him back. All right, no, please be patient because Dr. Faris is doing a brilliant job. So next up, let's go to Ms. Lina El-Khalid, a tourism expert in policy and advisory. Thank you, Lina.
Thank you, Mona. It's great to be here with all of you and with our listeners and viewers. As His Excellency, Mr. Michel said, Jordan is really a gem, and we always like to talk about it, not just because we're Jordanians, but because it really offers a great opportunity to learn, as you said, and engage with communities, learn traditions, understand different cultures from the ones that our listeners are from. So I will speak today about sustainability and tourism. I know it's sometimes we say, it's a new trend and everyone speaks about it. But in reality, this trend has become more than just a trend. Sustainability is now an important element of development, and it is no longer an option, for countries to choose to do it or not to choose to do it. In the past, sustainability was mostly referred to as environmental impact or CSR, or only working with communities. Today, we look at sustainability from a much broader perspective, and it is no longer, a segment on the side. Sustainability is really an overarching approach that we all need to engage with and work with. What's probably most important is to know that the broader element or the broader definition of sustainability today is derived from two primary institutions, UN Tourism, UNDP, obviously, and the Global Sustainability Tourism Council, the GSTC, which sets the primary criteria for sustainable development in the tourism sector. So within these definitions, we now look at sustainability as a delicate combination of 3 or 4 key criteria. This is environmental impact, sociocultural impact, and economic impact. And within these 3, we always try to minimize the negative impact and maximize the positive impact. So this is very important. So we need to always, whenever we say sustainability, we need to look at these 3 elements. Obviously, destinations are different. In some places, you find two of these criteria more stronger, and the third one lower. But this is how we always try to work on it. And working on sustainability is not really easy because it has to engage everyone in the destination. It's the responsibility of the private sector, of the public sector, the policies, the suppliers, the communities. So everyone is really affected and should have a role within the sustainable development. So why is it important? I know a lot of people keep saying this, but today probably Booking.com has some numbers for us, or actually not just today. These numbers have been coming for the past several years, and it is clearly shown that travelers today lead sustainable engagement. They want the sustainability, they want sustainable experiences. They want to go to their destinations and leave them better than they visit. In fact, if I actually look at the numbers, in the 2025 Booking.com, 69% of travelers say that they do want to leave the destination in a better way. And that's a significant number. And 77% want their impact, or want the communities that they're visiting to really benefit from their tourism income. So these are key numbers, and this is why it's important for us to really look at it. On another scale, governments are also looking at sustainability with policies, the EU Green Deal coming in, same in Australia and the US. So everywhere, everybody is setting the political scene and the legal scene for stakeholders and for the private sector to follow sustainable development principles. And Jordan is no different. And I'm sure Dr. Faris will talk about this a little bit more in the future, when he starts. But in Jordan and in the neighboring countries, everybody's trying to do something. Today, the general or the overarching approach in Jordan is the economic modernization vision. This is our key national strategy, which sets sustainability as a core element of its development, with the 3 prime criteria, which is people, economy, and environment. And so it is important that we in the tourism sector also embrace this. The National Tourism Strategy also looks at sustainability in a key way, in a very practical way. And so today it's the role of the private sector to adapt these practices, understand how they affect them, and find their way around sustainability development. The good thing is that there are a lot. Muna, tell me how much time I have, because I can go on and on with this. So
Please continue. We're okay.
okay. So what's happening today already in tourism is very important. It's very good because we have players within the public sector, we have players within the private sector that are already starting to make a difference and make change. You know, it's a change, and change is not easy. But we need to adapt it. One of the first pillars of the GSTC criteria is called sustainability management, because we need to adapt how do we manage our transformation into a sustainable operation, whether it's on a destination level, on a private sector level. In this sense, we have started working in Jordan, bottom up to bottom approach. And this is great because everyone is kind of coming to it, working together. We have private sector hotels, we have tour operators that are working now on sustainability certifications. And at the same time, we have the Jordan Tourism Board that is now part of the Good Travel Alliance from the Green Destinations. We have Petra that has gone through a GSCC assessment. We have Aqaba, who has recently won an award, a bronze award, a recognition award by the Green Destinations. So it's really coming together, and there's a lot of engagement between the public and the private sectors. Our airport, and I'm sure Mr. Karim can talk more about it, has also been working on the net zero strategies. So everything coming together is a great opportunity for Jordan to become more sustainable without the greenwashing part, working on it closely. And the last thing I want to touch on is community experiences. I think today we are not yet there from an environmental perspective, maybe from an economic perspective, we're still struggling because of all the political situation around us. But our communities, the experiences that are offered by the different communities from south to north and east and west are really being recognized as great experiences. I would really invite people to visit Jordan, visit Aqaba, visit Petra, Salt and Jerash. There are a lot of websites that have so much information about these authentic local interactions.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much, Lena. That was brilliant. And, I want to recap on what Lena says. Come to Jordan. It's really working hard. The private sector, public sector is working hard to make Jordan a remarkable destination, but the importance of the private sector to lead, I'm with you on that, Lena. So Dr. Faris Brazat, if I may, will reintroduce you. Very happy to welcome the Managing Director of the Petra Development and Tourism Authority, Dr. Faris.
Thank you very much for having me, Mona. Sorry for the technical fault earlier. Well, let me just say a few things about where we are heading in Petra in practical terms. First of all, we have been very lucky to be able to conduct a rule of law and development campaign in Petra starting on the 4th of December 2023 in order to regulate all economic activities within the Petra Archaeological Park. And put all these activities under the umbrella of the Petra Authority and also under the rule of law within the legal codes of the country. With that, we are ensuring the most important level of sustainability, which is the people of Petra. That is a top priority for us. We are providing all the opportunities that we can given the circumstances and the limitations we have over the past 2 years because of the decline of tourism. As you may know, we lost in 24 around 74% of our foreign tourism compared to 23, and with it we lost 72% of our income. So we had very little financial resources available for us to carry out the capital projects that we intended to implement over the past couple of years. Those projects, we had a plan for nearly 50 million USD in order to implement development projects. Most of them are to do with infrastructure and sustainability projects, including check dams and outside the archaeological park, water flood management, water reservoirs, and also pathways, water pathways. However, we managed to finally work on a grant of $15 million to cover 5 pillars, mainly One of them is to enhance accessibility and visitor circulation in and outside Petra Archaeological Park, and that pillar, under that pillar, we will have 4 projects: management of entry and exit points, development of the transportation system, main trail accessibility and circulation, sustainable tourism mobility master plan for the Golden Triangle, in order to complement not only in Petra, but also to go beyond to Aqaba and Wadi Rum in terms of connectivity and the green transportation. The second pillar, to do the product development and visitor journey enhancement, again, focusing on the integration of the local community, whether it is the cultural heritage. As you may know, in addition for Petra being one of the World Heritage Sites since 1985, the Bedouin culture of Petra and Wadi Rum was listed by the UNESCO as intangible cultural heritage in 2008. And many of the cultural activities, such as the Samar, also was listed by the UNESCO as intangible cultural heritage. So that complements other services and products within the Golden Triangle, and that would make it, for a good place for the local communities to engage in a sustainable, socioeconomic manner. And the third element, or the third pillar, which is environmental compliance and destination sustainability accreditation and park protection measures. We have the 3 projects under that pillar: environmental appraisal and WHC compliance, and also sustainable destination accreditation, and the solar system of 1 megawatt in order to supply the fleet, the electric bus fleet that we will be introducing hopefully very soon, in order to ease the visitor circulation and also to ease the pressure on the site, where visitors will go into the site from the sea and exit from the back road. That will reduce the pressure, human and also the visitor footprint inside the park. The fourth element is digital infrastructure and marketing, and that would include paperless and plastic-less site. Hopefully, we are seeking to get to that result, and to turn all our services into a digitized form of operations. And that also is linked to the 5th pillar, which is governance, management, and park operations. Those will be totally integrated, and sustainability will be integrated in all these pillars. We have also another pillar, which is to prepare the infrastructure for the projects that I have mentioned earlier. In addition to this, we planned a 10-year plan with 58 different projects with a cost of around 32 Jordanian dinars, nearly 50 million USD, projects to be implemented over the next 10 years in order to make sure that Petra becomes a green, sustainable city, and to reduce the impact of pollution, whether it is plastic or paper or emissions, car emissions or bus emissions. We're trying our best to reduce that, because also the site itself is quite sensitive to such effects, and we want to make sure that we are doing all what we can in order to provide the best protection possible. The last point I'd like to mention is the connectivity to other sites in Jordan, and how that is going to sustain communities across the area, from the north of Jordan to the south and from the west to the east, linking that to experiential hospitality or immersive experiential hospitality practices, where the local community is the backbone of all these activities. And this is in this way that would be linked to different or a variety of products, including faith tourism, both Muslim and Christian, adventure tourism with all its variety and diversity, wellness tourism, which is not only an important extension of medical, but also a standalone product or a set of products that can bring in a quite substantial number of tourists who are already environmentally aware and sustainability conscious. And the last, which is the educational tourism, that not only to do with academic education, but also education about nature and what it offers. I think there is a rich history and a rich diversity in Jordan that we would like to share and show the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Faris Brzat. A lot of great things happening in Petra. Infrastructure, the environment, touching multiple communities, a lot of excitement. Petra, for those in the audience, is Jordan's anchor. And it is a very important site. And it is a major reason why we have visitors in Jordan, but there's so much more to see. And I just wanted to clarify for some of you listening, what the Golden Triangle means. The Golden Triangle are 3 areas: Petra, Wadi Rum, and Aqaba, the Red Sea, just to clarify. So once again, thank you very much. Next up, we have Mr. Kareem Makhlouf. He is a Chief Commercial Officer of our national carrier, Royal Jordanian. Welcome, Mr. Kareem.
Thank you, Mona, and thank you for having me. It's really exciting to be here on this tourism panel. So, from an airline perspective, obviously, I joined Royal Jordanian Airlines 4 years ago. And as a non-Jordanian, as a German Tunisian, I can say that Jordan is really one of the most exciting countries I've lived in the last 30 years of my aviation career. And obviously, we are trying now as an airline to increase the awareness of this beautiful country. And as an airline, obviously, we have a customer reach, a passenger reach of this year around 5 million passengers, and we are set to grow towards 7 million passengers. This is far more passengers we are transporting than Jordan has tourists. So our new strategy is really based on 2 main pillars. Number 1, tourism into Jordan. That's what we want to explain and transfer into the international markets. And of course, as airline, we have here a very wide reach, and that's kind of a game changer for Royal Jordanian Airlines, transforming towards a tour operator and tourism platform to serve the country. The second strategic pillar is to become the national carrier of the entire region, which we call Levant. So the Levant region around Jordan, where you have Iraq, Syria, Palestine, southern parts of Egypt, is an area of over 140 million population. And with these 2 ingredients, we want to double the number of our aircraft. So 4 years ago, we had 23 aircrafts. We will have 35 aircrafts by next year. And we are targeting 52 aircrafts by 2032. So a quite ambitious plan where tourism will play a major role. In order to do so, we developed a new brand called Explore Jordan, where RJ is in the middle. That's our 2-letter code. And Explore Jordan is based on 9 or 8 pillars. Yeah? So we are trying to really promote the country as a modern, contemporary, and truly authentic Arabian country, which many people still don't know. Even the awareness of Amman is still relatively low if you compare that to other cities in the region. So Explore Jordan is, for example, just to give a few examples, talking about culinary tourism. You know, many or few people only know that we have 2 wonderful winemakers, for example, in one of the driest countries, right? That's in itself makes me as a tourist curious, yeah. And what Zahmed and Haddad are doing is really impressive. As such, we have beautiful food. The entire Levantine food is kind of a well-fit and vegan, vegetarian-friendly food, which we try to promote as well. Adventure, it's so important. I would say the Jordan Trail, which is a hiking path of 650 kilometers, and which is again unknown to the international crowd, is the only proper hiking path in the Arab world. It is 650 kilometers from the beautiful northern greenery area, passing the lowest point on earth up to the Red Sea, hiking in a deserted area. I mean, very cool again, which we really try now as airline to promote into the international markets. One favorite topic is art and lifestyle. We have 21 art galleries in Amman, right? All run by Jordanians. As such, it's very authentic art. I would consider Amman as the art capital of the Middle East. We have so many artists from Syria, from Palestine, from Iraq. It's just a beautiful melting pot. And for me personally, Webda has a flair of Berlin. If you walk through Webda, you have these art and cafes, and so authentic Jordanian experience, yeah, because it's mainly Jordanians. Unfortunately, we have very few tourists only right now. But for tourists, that's exactly what you look for. You look for these exotic places which are not overcrowded and which are so undiscovered. And Jordan is it for me. I think sustainability is super important. We in the aviation sector are, of course, transforming into new technology aircraft. Royal Jordanian, with its new plan, is not just growing, but we are restructuring our entire fleet into the NEOs and 787-9s. And this will reduce our carbon footprint by around 33% over the next 4 to 5 years. So sustainability for us as airline is important. But as well, Jordan has a lot to offer in sustainable ecotourism. Jordan, for example, is doing pine tree conservation. Yeah, that's so fascinating. There's not many pine trees on Earth, and Jordan, as one of the water poorest countries, is taking care of that. And this gives a personality to Jordan, which is great. Yeah? Jordan is doing as well oryx conservation as such. So a lot of small things which are giving personality to a country which is still relatively unknown on an international global context, and which makes Jordan discover the undiscovered feel like. We are as well shedding light on contemporary heritage. We have so many beautiful museums in Amman, the Automotive Museum, which are not just museums, but they really tell the story of the development of Amman and how the kings developed the entire infrastructure here. And that's as well, for a foreigner as myself, super exciting to find something which is really unexpected as such. In terms of wellness and well-being, I think Jordan has something spiritual, something mystic, because being the lowest point on earth is a big thing, right? It's really just in Jordan. We are trying now to organize meditation camps, yoga retreats, to be really one with this unique nature. And of course, the Dead Sea has proven unique healing factors. Even if you inhale the oxygen there or the air there, it has an immediate impact on your blood, on your oxygen level in your blood. And the water, goes without saying, is absolutely healing for people with skin problems. But we try as well to promote spiritual wellness, where it's just great to have such a unique place like Jordan. Holy travel is so important, as Dr. Faris Brazat mentioned, for both main religions, for Christians and for Muslims. As far as I know, Jordan has 5 out of the top 10 Vatican sites, 5 out of the top 10. Nevertheless, the market share in pure holy travel is relatively low. It's around 10%, 15%. And this is something which we as an airline want to promote now as well through packages, yeah, that we bring pilgrim travelers here for 3, 4, 5 nights with very, very attractive fares. Yeah? We are starting here very, very low in order to shed light on this beautiful country. And I think it's important as the national carrier that we really promote this beautiful country with all the power we have, and we have a very wide reach as an airline, and that's why my expectation for next year really is that we will see a positive outcome as the things are stabilizing in the region. And we as an airline are ready. We are connecting now over 60 destinations in the US, in Europe, in the Middle East, and in the Gulf. We are starting as well in Africa, lots of expansion. And it's all geared for tourism, as tourism makes around 20% of the GDP of Jordan. So that means every fifth person in Jordan depends directly or indirectly from tourism. And that's why I consider our role as airline really to represent this country on a global level and to stimulate new tourism segments. I think the cultural tourists are there, and for sure Jordan is a cultural highlight, if not the highlight as such. But it's, for me as a foreigner, this modern, contemporary, authentic Arabia experience, which I've seen here, which is so fascinating and so exciting, and which we want to share with many, many travelers out there. And Royal Jordanian is ready to offer whatever is needed in terms of pricing and availability and connectivity to really stimulate new tourism segments, especially on the younger segment, because right now our tourists are predominantly a bit older, which is normal in terms of cultural tourists. But we want to bring as well young tourists from Europe, for example, and Europe is just 3 to 4 hours away, right? It takes 4 hours to Milan and Rome. It takes 2 hours to Athens. It takes 4 hours to Frankfurt, just 4.5 hours to London. And I would say, where do you find something in Europe? I mean, being German, I would not have expected within 4 hours to find something unexpected, because let's be honest, you know it all. But Jordan still have these ingredients which are special. And again, as an airline, we really want to push this tourism factor much more stronger in the future as we did in the past. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Kareem. That was insightful. As a very loyal Royal Jordanian airline loyalist passenger, kudos to all you had to say. And thank you for really identifying our wonderful diet. The Mediterranean diet, the Arab diet, the Jordanian diet is rated as one of the healthiest diets on earth. Through multiple years, it's been a top diet through the health sector. And you touched on a very important point, wellness, very close to my heart. The lowest point on earth, imagine, is in Jordan. And all the more reason to come and visit. We have a few questions and we'll address them. We've had some questions on accessible tourism, a low-cost airline, security in this part of the region. All of these are being noted, and thank you so much, and we'll get to these questions at the end. I'd like to welcome our last speaker of the day, Mr. Adil Amin, a tourism consultant, expert, and author. So welcome, Adil.
Thank you so much, Muna. It's a great honor to be among you today. Good afternoon, everybody, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues and friends. I don't know where to start, because I mean my colleagues covered everything, so I'll talk to you one-to-one as your friend. Tourism as its best, it's about people, it's about connectivity, it's about culture, it's about purpose, it's about pride. And today, I would like to touch very briefly about several areas that I believe that it's quite important in this fast developing world, which is mainly competitiveness, the people, and marketing through storytelling. If we redefine a destination, for instance, when it comes to competitiveness, we have to look at the world, and the world is changing. Travelers today, they have thousands of choices. Sometimes when we look when we do certain marketing plans or business planning, we say, who's the competitive to Jordan, or who are our competitors? In the past, maybe we looked at the region, but today it's actually the world. You have the same beaches, same hotels, same photos on Instagram, Facebook. So the question is, what truly makes a destination stand out? For Jordan, as a Jordanian, I believe that it's not about being cheaper, it's about being different, being deeply authentic. When a traveler goes to Petra, and I hope that Dr. Faris will not be upset now. It's beautiful to see a monument like Petra, But when you combine that with an experience as if you are a local, it becomes something memorable. When a traveler shares a cup of tea with a Bedouin under the stars of Wadi Rum, that vast, colorful desert, it will never be forgotten. When a local guide in Jerash, for instance, one of the most preserved Greco-Roman cities of the Decapolis, they tells us the story with passion instead of just a script. That's when Jordan wins. Because Jordan's edge is not only in imitation, it's in authenticity, I believe. And in order to stay competitive, we must focus on three main areas: the quality in every service and touch point, authenticity by preserving what makes us truly Jordanians and offering this to our visitors and guests, and sustainability, as Lena mentioned, so that our communities benefit not only statistics, but they feel the return of investment or the support of our visitors and clients. During difficult times, some destinations survive by doing certain discounts. But I believe that Jordan has worked on such challenges in a different way, by diversifying the feeder markets, by looking into opportunities locally and internationally and regionally. And what makes Jordan once again different is our warmth, our hospitality, our heritage, and human connections. When we talk about people working in this industry, we really have to keep on empowering people and elevating their experiences. Tourism is people-to-people business. As they say, we are ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen. So no matter how advanced our digital marketing gets, travelers remember faces. They don't remember AI at the end of the day. Yes, AI, ChatGPT, or whatever, it's extremely important and helpful, but you cannot eliminate the human touch from our industry, especially when it comes to hospitality and tourism. When a visitor comes to Jordan and they leave, they say, we will come back because we felt how we were treated. People are remarkable. And at the end of the day, marketing is psychology. It's how you feel. So once you feel something, you really want to come back again and to buy the same package once more. If we want to elevate our experiences, we must first empower the people through training, through leadership, and genuine motivation. A well-trained guide, as I mentioned in Jerash, can turn a site into a story. A receptionist at a hotel with empathy can turn a problem into loyalty. A motivated local entrepreneur can turn a small village into a destination. So investing in people is not an expense. It's an opportunity and a strategic decision. We have to look into how to diversify markets, because I have worked with many destinations throughout my career, and nearby countries, without naming any, they depend on 2-3 feeder markets, which represent around 80% of their inbound tourism. And this is quite dangerous, especially in a region that is not 100%, you cannot predict what could happen tomorrow, as any place in the world. So when you depend on 2-3 major markets and you have around 80%, if you lose one of them, what's going to happen? So we in Jordan, and as I worked in the Jordan Tourism Board, we worked very hard into diversifying the feeder markets. So you have a wide range of markets that brings you numbers, and at the end of the day, it accumulates to having the total number of tourism coming into the destination, whether it's from Southeast Asia to the Gulf, to Europe, to North America, South America, you name it. Now let's talk a little bit, if I may, Mona, about the future of destination marketing. Marketing is a bridge between what we offer and how the world sees us. For instance, if we take a traveler today, a traveler does not buy only a package, they buy a story that aligns with their identity and values. That's why if you, as Karim knows, if I want to promote Jordan to Germany, for instance, it's different from Tunisia since you are you're holding both nationalities. So you have to really study the market and the way you have to present your product according to the needs of the client, not according to what you have. Mona has mentioned, and Karim also mentioned, and others about the Dead Sea. Yes, a lot of people would like to climb up to the highest mountain in the world, the Himalayas. But why don't you come to Jordan and climb down to the lowest point on earth? That would be something. And I wonder how many of you visited the destination actually, or have been among us. And this is an open invitation for you to come and see, because I think that those who did not come and visit Jordan, I think that you're missing a lot. Not because I'm a Jordanian, but if you look at this small country, it's very diverse from adventure to religious, whether it's Muslim or Christian. I mean, Jesus Christ was baptized here. It's 30 minutes from my home. So it's really unbelievable. And you can easily combine different products in the same program. As an example, if you visit the baptism site, you combine 3 different experiences. Adventure, which is walking through this natural area, which is left as it was on purpose so that you feel the experience. Mental wellness, because it's a very serene, very calm place that you can feel spiritual wellness, and religious. So you can easily create different programs and different products whenever you think about coming to the destination. If I want to keep on talking about the destination, about Jordan, I'm a marketing guy, so Mona, I will keep on talking until tomorrow. So I don't know if I should just wrap it up by saying that I think that the Jordan Tourism Board has been doing a great job. I think that Royal Jordanian has been doing excellent in terms of the outreach. I think more could be done by everybody, and we depend on our partners worldwide to be with us in such times where we look into how we can present to you and to your clients Jordan in a way that is a story that would be attractive and that would reflect the authenticity and our culture, where everybody will be satisfied and happy. So thank you very much once again for this opportunity, and I hope that we will meet in person one day, not at your place, but here in Jordan.
Thank you so much, Adil. I just want to reiterate, Jordanians, Bedouins, we are the best storytellers. From Senator Michelle to Dr. Faris to Adil to Lena, Dr. Talib to Kareem, sharing stories about Jordan. This is what Jordan is all about. So I agree with you that travel now is all about the memory, the experience, the story that you're going to take back home with you, the story that you are going to create in your mind. So thank you so much for touching on that. Jordan is small but mighty. Jordan is situated in a global dynamic region. And this is where I share to all of you listening the importance of education in travel. As we all recapped our specialties from our fabulous panelists, it is about what you are going to be educated with a story, with an experience, with that human touch when you visit Jordan. So I really wanted just to recap on all of you from the policies to our government with Senator Michelle, to the experts in each of your industries. We do have a few questions, and I do appreciate the comments and the interaction in the comment box. And I want to address a question to Mr. Kareem from Royal Jordanian. We had a question about low-cost airlines. What are your thoughts? I know it's a tough question to ask. What are your thoughts, and how does that impact our national carrier, Royal Jordanian?
Well, low-cost model is a model which was developed like 30 years ago. And at that time, I founded the low-cost arm of Lufthansa, Eurowings. So it's a pure logistic model, right? It's transporting people from A to B. And it's not so strong in distributing countries, right? So Ryanair will not explain you Jordan, but Ryanair might fly you cheap to Jordan. So I think I have no problem with low-cost airlines at all. But the problem or the challenge, as I see it, is the awareness of Jordan as such. And it's not just the connectivity, because in the meantime, we have now 35 aircrafts, right? When the low-cost airlines was approached to come to Jordan, and I think this was a wise decision at that time, Royal Jordanian had only 23 aircrafts and was most probably not so much into tourism as we are today. So today, obviously, I don't think it's about the air connectivity anymore. The air connectivity is pretty much sorted. Okay, so we have Royal Jordanian opening up many destinations. I just opened Munich last week. We opened Dallas, Washington, Milan, Lyon, over 22 destinations in the last 3 years, and all geared for tourism. So the challenge will be how to promote Jordan and how to make sure that an average 30, 40, 50-year-old or 60-year-old person in France, in the US, in Thailand, in, let's say, Italy, will be captured to come to this beautiful country. And as we heard, the country is amazing from all different perspectives. But it's this awareness which we have to create. And that's not just the flight of a ticket. Nobody travels because the flight is cheap. Everyone travels because he's expecting a story in a destination. And this story, we as RJ and as Explore Jordan, we are ready to tell.
Thank you so much. And I've got another question, if I may, on accessible tourism. I'm going to give this to Lena, if I may. What are your thoughts and how can we improve?
So I think it's a big challenge everywhere, Muna. The thing is that often we think of accessibility only from a very narrow perspective, people on a wheelchair, for example. But what we don't think of is that accessibility is actually a very, very broad definition. And when a person has a leg injury, and they can't walk, that's a person with a need. People who have hearing or sight disability, all of these people are, I mean, you can deal with them in very different ways, and it doesn't necessarily have to be always, just thinking of the ramps and all of that. So in principle, internationally, there's a huge growing movement for accessible tourism. It is estimated that there are over 1 billion travelers that have different needs who are available, who want to travel around, who want to see new destinations, and they want to engage. Just like everyone else. And the 1 billion is only the people themselves. Add to it people that accompany them. So it's a very big industry. And it's the most important part is for us to understand who is it exactly that we are able to engage with, who are we able to accommodate, and what are their specific needs, and we need to look at it not from our own perspective, but from the perspective of those people. So it's a lot, and it's important that we don't just say, accessible tourism from a very broad perspective, that we're very specific in how we approach accessibility.
I agree. I had a father in a wheelchair, but that did not stop him. He wanted to see Jordan from north, south, east, and west. I know we've got advocates to work on more access to ramps and making it comfortable for the elder or for the injured. So work in progress. We're not perfect, but we're always working, listening, and meeting the needs to our very best of our visitors. So we are at the closing mark, and I just wanted to thank everybody all over the world, friends of tourism, the youth, the diplomats, our international community. I also wanted to leave that we are all ambassadors for our countries. Everybody here on the panel and in the audience, we are all ambassadors for Jordan. It's just not the job of the two fields. It's all of our responsibility. So I want you to think about that wherever you are your best ambassador to your country. So as we come to a close of today's summit, I want to thank everybody on the panel, our audience, for sharing your experiences and your beliefs in Jordan. What we heard today is that the tourism in Jordan is more than an industry. It's a movement of people, purpose, and pride. From innovation and sustainability to policy and partnerships, today's discussion
No, we lost you, I think.
Yes, I think we lost Mona, but yeah, maybe Mona. Okay, so I think we are on the closing. If any questions, any of the esteemed speakers want to say anything before we go to the closing, as we have lost.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you all for arranging this session. It was very informative. Thank you, Mona, and thanks to everybody involved in the Institute. And we look forward to seeing you again very soon.
Dr.
Thank you so
Taleb, I
much,
think,
Doctor.
wants to say something also, Raza.
Thank you so much. Yes, please.
Dr. Taleb.
Dr. Taleb, please.
Yes, please. I want to talk about sustainability. Sustainability, as Lena said, is not just about the environment. It's about people. How do we benefit people from our tourism in Jordan and all over the world? Sustainability is a much bigger concept than just the environment.
عندكم dead areas بالمكتب هون.
Thank you so
ما
much.
فيها إرسال، في مناطق ما فيها إرسال.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Taleb. Thank you so much.
I apologize.
Okay, you are back. Very good. On time.
Yeah. Well, listen, I just wanted to wrap it up and thank everybody.
Close again. Close again.
Yeah, we lost her again. Okay, thank you so much, everybody. From tomorrow, the recording will be on our website, institutetourism.com, as always, including the biography of all the speakers. Okay, I see that Mona is here. Please say the few last words before we close. Mona, please.
I don't know what's going on with the internet, but I got to talk to Zain. Once again, thank you so much for your time and your expertise. And before I lose you, as Reza said, please follow Institute Tourism, and the link should be on shortly. Thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mona.
Dr.
Thank you,
Taleb.
everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. And thank you so much, Mona, for the wonderful moderation and organizing everything. Thank you so much. Thank you. God bless people of Jordan. Such a beautiful country, and see you all there. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Taleb, so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.